Hi, I'm Mark Winterbottom and I'm here at Monroe, Manufacturing Development Plant, Clovelly Park, South Australia. As you may have noticed, I've teamed up with Monroe, who are Australia's leading manufacturer of shock absorbers. To better understand their product, I've organised a DVD of a tour that I recently did here at the plant, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the tour. I'll see you guys a little bit later.
As the world leader in shock absorber technology, Monroe products are manufactured to exacting standards that are at the leading edge of automotive safety design. It is this passion for technology-driven safety that has made Monroe Australia's most preferred brand of shock absorbers. There are 5 primary components to a shock absorber: the body tube, pressure cylinder, the piston rod, and the compression valve. Now we've seen the primary components, let's see how they're manufactured. These rolls of steel will form the body tube, pressure cylinder, and the reserve chamber. To ensure quality control, Monroe manufactures nearly all the components themselves. The tube mill takes the flat strips of steel and rolls it into a tube and welds the 2 edges together. Depending on the diameter of the tube, the mill can produce up to 100 metres per minute. These long tubes are then cut into 6-metre lengths before the cutting and end sizing operations. It's the same process whether they're body tubes, pressure cylinders or reserve chambers. However, the pressure tubes go through a secondary process to ensure that they are 100% smooth inside to allow the piston to travel freely. These long steel rods will form the piston rod. They are cut to size and then machined to the fitting requirements. The transfer of oil from the pressure cylinder to reserve chamber is what makes a shocker work. The piston and the compression valve are crucial components. To form these parts and other internal components, Monroe use metal powder sintering method. It takes powder like this and makes this. Essentially, it's powdered iron. They can control the characteristics of the end results by using different trace elements. The powder is fed into the press machine and compressed into moulds and forms the piston. To machine a part like this would be very time consuming. However, this process is very efficient and effective. But at this point, the piston is still quite soft. From here, the parts are baked in a furnace for a number of hours at temperatures up to 1200 degrees. It's now hardened and extremely tough and can be machined as you would steel. Here is the same piston. The sides have been machined and it has been fitted with a Teflon band to ensure low friction, low noise and long life.
So we've seen how they manufacture all the components. Let's see how they're all going to fit together.
This is the Autoline machine that welds the end cap to the body tube and the all-important fittings that connect it to the vehicle. Monroe produces literally thousands of different shockers. Now, some connect to the vehicle via a bush, others via a stud. Here is the complete rod assembly, and here's the piston we saw earlier. As the shocker moves around this machine, the piston is inserted along with the oil at the same time. As it passes this section, it is performance tested. Green is obviously good, but if it's red, then it's rejected from the line. This is indicative of Monroe's commitment to quality control. Every shocker is tested before it leaves the plant. What we're seeing here is the same process for struts. First, the spring seats and the brackets are attached. Then on this line, the strut is assembled, filled with oil and performance tested in one pass. The final process is paint application. An electrostatic paint system is used with rotation to ensure an even coat. In true Monroe style, each unit is cleaned and coated prior to paint application. This ensures that the shockers last as they should.
So we've seen the manufacturing process, but before that happens, they have to be designed.
As a market leader, Monroe is constantly on the cutting edge of design. The R&D section is where it all happens. Monroe engineers carry out constant research and testing before any component is put into production. Machines like this simulate thousands of kilometres of wear. These machines test each and every component and place far greater stresses and strains than could be expected in normal life. Product life is measured in millions of cycles to ensure that the Monroe product that you can fit with total confidence. Monroe shock absorbers and struts are original equipment on many Australian and overseas manufactured motor vehicles. So if they pass the exacting standards of manufacturers, then you know they are a quality product. Monroe is totally committed to the aftermarket. When it comes to OE, Monroe believes you should not aim to match it, but exceed it. It doesn't stop there. Their on-road representatives are the industry's best. Monroe also supports technicians with the help desk, where technical advice is just a phone call away. These are real people who know and understand the issues you face on a day-to-day basis. And then there is the Monroe website that has a wealth of information.
So now you have seen the research, the constant testing, the exacting standards, the quality control that each and every Monroe shock absorber goes through. You will understand that it's only when a shock absorber has passed all that it can carry the name Monroe. And this one is personally approved by me.